I already moisturized, so I'm gonna go in with my primer first. Usually I start with the eyes, but I want to make sure I have like a good base down before I do my eyes. I don't know. I just feel like that was the order I had to do this one in. I'm not too worried about messing up my base or anything. So I'm gonna start with the Smashbox Photo Finish. And I really am at the bottom of this. Like that's what I have to do to get it. So now I'm gonna go in with foundation. This foundation's not my color. None of my foundations are my color right now because I haven't been outside in like a long time. So I'm very pale. Oh my god, it looks so much darker on camera. That's so embarrassing. It looked so dark. So I'm using the Healthy Foundation by Physicians Formula. I really love this foundation. It's really like glowy, and I want this base to be glowy. This makeup look is weird because I feel like it's kind of supposed to be natural but also not. So I make the base really glowy and like skin-like, and then I make the eyes a little more dramatic. I'm using shade MC1. I have a lighter concealer, so hopefully I can balance it out. Now I'm just using a beauty blender to blend that in. I prefer using a sponge personally, but this foundation looks really good with a brush too. I just have really dry skin, so beauty blender with any foundation usually works out better for me. Honestly, I love my nose ring, but the only annoying thing is getting foundation like right here because you gotta like squeeze. I don't know. If you have a nose ring, you know, but I'm gonna go in with e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This is in Fair Beige. I'm pretty sure it's the lightest one because I'm naturally very pale. I'm gonna try to balance this out with this concealer. I'm sure you can really tell how dewy and hydrating this foundation is. Like, look at how shiny I look. But it's in like a good way. It doesn't look greasy or oily. It looks like that girl's healthy as hell. So I'm just putting it under my eyes for right now because my eyes crease so badly that I do my eyes first and then I powder them, and then I do like my T-zone with concealer and powder that. I only powder under my eyes and on my T-zone because that's the only places it creases or comes off. Like I said, I have dry skin, so I don't really like putting powder everywhere. I also put foundation on my eyelids because, again, it's not my color, and if I didn't put it on my eyelids, there would be some peeking through from the eyeshadow, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves is when that happens. I always do that even if the color pretty much matches me because you can tell when there's like a gap of no foundation. I'm using the Milk Translucent Loose Powder. I'm just gonna do it under my eyes, and I'm also gonna do my eyelids while I'm here because I'm gonna forget if I don't. Now I'm gonna go in with the concealer again and just do my T-zone. This concealer goes a long way. It kind of reminds me of Tarte Shape Tape. If you put as much as you think that you need, it's way too much. You're sitting there blending for way too long. So once the T-zone's blended, I just go in with powder on the places that I put concealer down, and that's it. So to bronze and contour, I'm going to be using the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker in Shady Biz. And yes, it has fingerprints all over it, I know, but that's the cons of this kind of packaging. Even though it looks really pretty, it gets fingerprints all over it. I'm just taking this big fluffy BH Cosmetics brush. This is the kind of brush I like to use because it's not super small and it's general enough that it kind of blends out the product so easily. I take this smaller brush. It's a little bit more dense. I use this to contour my nose. I just brush it over. I don't really mind getting it kind of like in this area because I just go over here with highlight, so you don't really notice if there's bronzer there. I'm gonna go in with the Milani. Oh my god, everything I own is dirty. Just let it go. It's makeup, I'm sorry. The Milani Luminoso blush. I'm just taking an e.l.f. blush brush. I don't like saying blush brush, I really don't. I'm mostly focusing it on the apples of the cheeks. And remember, wow, hello, how are you? It does not look that intense in person. I'm gonna take this Real Techniques brush and hopefully blend it out a little bit. Remember that the higher you put your contour, the higher your cheekbones will look, which Bella Hadid has high cheekbones, so if you want to look like Bella Hadid, put your contour up higher. I don't look anything like Bella Hadid, I think, at all. I don't think we have any similar characteristics, so obviously I'm never gonna look exactly like her if I just am using makeup, unless I was like wicked talented, like those people that can turn themselves into like Kylie Jenner's baby. I don't know, you better stop! You know, this is just to enhance what you have, not necessarily to completely look like someone else. For highlight, I'm actually going to dip into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to grab the shade. I hate the way this is set up. I really don't like that they put the shade names on the back because I can never figure out what is what. So I'm going to dip into Obsessed, which is right here, and I'm going to use that as my highlight. So I'm going to move the Jaclyn Hill palette to the side for now because I'm going to do my brows. So I'm using Benefit Brow in the shade 4 because I have naturally really dark hair. I know, I'm not naturally blonde. Everyone's shaking. I'm going to take this Benefit brush. It's like a little angled brush. Again, dirty. And I'm just going to brush. I'm going to try to make my brows look a little straighter. My eyebrows are actually really straight naturally, as you can see. This eyebrow, bane of my existence. I just want to rip it off because it always comes out so much worse than this one. They're not twins, they're not sisters, they're not related. They don't even know about each other. They live in different zip codes, okay? Just let's not talk about it. So now that I have the most intense eyebrows on this planet, it's time to do the eyeshadow. I'm gonna grab a fluffy brush from Beach Cosmetics and the shade MFEO. I'm gonna zoom in a little closer so you can see a little better what I'm doing. So I'm gonna take MFEO on this fluffy blend. I'm gonna take the shade MFEO on this fluffy blending brush. I'm just gonna go and work this into the crease at first. Quite a light shade, so it's not gonna be anything crazy. I have hooded eyes, so I'm going up a little bit higher than people without hooded eyes normally would have to. Once you have it worked into the crease, now is when we start to blow it out. Bella Hadid's look is lifted, so you want to try to go up and out. Don't go up too high. Try to focus more on out and then up. Just start with out and then build it up as you go. If you look at the picture that I'm referencing, obviously her eyeshadow doesn't go out this far, but she doesn't need to do that, and that's why if you're trying to create the illusion that your face looks like that, that's why you have to bring it out more. Really take your time with this shade because this is the base and everything's gonna kind of follow its suit. Once you have that, I'm just gonna go and dip into, I got my finger in one of the shades. I'm gonna go into the shade right under it called Pukey. I'm just gonna do the kind of the same thing, lower in the crease because we're going a little darker, but basically following the same pattern that we did with the other eyeshadow. So now that we have that, I'm gonna dip into this shade Little Lady. This one at the end right here. I'm gonna dip my finger in it and put that on the inner, I would say like half to 3/4 of my lid. So after that, I'm gonna dip into the shade Queen and just put it in over top Little Lady. With an angled brush, I'm gonna dip into the shade Central Park, I guess. What I'm doing with this shade is I'm creating a wing. So once I've created this shape, I'm going to go in with this e.l.f. defining eye brush, and I'm going to dip into the same shade. And on the outer corner, I'm just going to start kind of blowing out that color. Now that the outer part is all blended and ready to go, I'm just going to line the rest of my eye with the same color. Once you get to the inner corner, you're going to create a little triangle on the inside to kind of outline your tear duct. I'm going to go in with my MAC 217. I'm going to take the first shade we use, which is MFEO, and I'm just going to run that under my eyes. Now that MFEO is down, I'm going to go in with Pukey. I'm also connecting the bottom lash line to the top lash line. Now that both of those shades are down, I'm going to dip into Central Park. And I'm going to line as close to my waterline as possible with the dark brown. Again, I'm connecting the bottom brown to the brown line. Now that we have that, I'm going to take my MAC 217 again, pick up No Product, kind of swirl it around so I can get as much of the excess off, and just blend out the brown a little bit, just to smoke it out. This is what the eyes look like so far. They're basically done. This part's optional, but I'm just gonna go in with my NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk and put it into my waterline just because I like the look of the white. It's time to put on the falsies. I'm using Lily Lashes. Help me. I'm using Lily Lashes in Miami. If you want even more, these look crazy right now. If you want even more of the winged out cat eye look, I would suggest taking a pair of falsies and cutting the ends of them, or doing like individual ones. I'm gonna be honest, this is the only pair of eyelashes that I have. I really don't feel like cutting a $30 pair of eyelashes. If you are like me and don't have a pair of eyelashes that you can just cut and you want to keep the full band, something that I do is I pull the front down and I push the end up. So I think you can definitely work with what you have. I'm going to go in with my Milk Kush mascara just to blend in the top lashes and give my bottom eyelashes a little oomph. I do love this mascara, however, I hate how big the wand is. I thought that I would really like it, but as we've just seen, it's just so hard to use it on my bottom lashes. Now that the mascara is done, I'm gonna do lipstick. It's gonna be very simple because our eyes are very dramatic. We just want like a nude lip. I'm gonna go in with the Sephora lipstick. It's in one. I'm pretty sure it has a name. Brunch Date. Oh. I'm gonna go in with the Fenty Beauty Gloss in Fenty Glow. I swear this lip gloss is magic. It turns any lip color into like the best lip color ever. Alright, just gotta set my face. I'm using the Morphe Continuous Setting Spray. Oh, hello. Nice to see you there. Come here often. Alright, this is the finished look. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to subscribe to my channel. Give this a thumbs up. You know the deal. And I will see you next time. Why did I do that? I hated that.